You are listening to How to Get Over Your Ex, episode number 304. I was gifted a breakup. Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Hello, hello, beautiful Bravehearts. How is everyone doing today? I am so excited. We have a beautiful Braveheart alumni, Anna, here today. I am so excited for her to share her insights, her journey. I think she has a lot of really cool techniques that are going to help a lot of you who are going through heartbreak, who are creating your epic comeback. She's just done amazing work inside of the Get Over Your Ex program. So I am so excited to have you here, Anna. Welcome.
Hello, hi.
Hi. All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you? Where are you? How old are you? Give us some insight into who you are.
Yeah, I'm 42 years old. I live in Seattle. I'm originally from Germany, but moved to Seattle 20 years ago um, with my ex-husband, and we got divorced many, many years ago. And I've had a few relationships, like long-term relationships after that. But then for a long time, not a lot happened. And then 9 months ago, I met someone. Yeah, now I'm already going into the breakup right
We
away.
love it. We want to
But
hear the breakup story. Tell us. Tell us how it started. Tell us about your
yeah,
breakup story. Yeah, what led you to us?
yeah. So 9 months ago, I met a man who I really was very much into, and I really liked right away a lot. And we were together for 6 months, and then broke up three months ago. So I'm almost at the end of the program right now.
But that's even something to just say is like you started out fresh. Like you started out fresh from your breakup. Like it happened and you then were like, yes, we're doing the Get Over Your Ex program.
Yeah, that is true because so even though I initiated the breakup, I was also the one who wanted actually, I would have wished, that he would have said, no, let's work on this and all that. But he never did, he didn't do that. So I reached out to him a little bit later after the breakup and just asked him, you know, how are you feeling right now? Are you really completely done? And that's when and I already knew if he was gonna say no, if he was gonna say yes, I'm done, I was gonna be so shattered, and I was so scared of that moment. And I had already emailed you about the program, and I was like, okay, if he says yes, he's done, I'm gonna sign up right the next second so that I can like get through this day, at all.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, so yeah, and then he said, um, yeah, so that's basically my
What did
breakup.
he say? Yeah, tell me,
I
share
said,
with them what he said, because I feel like it's kind of important what he said.
yes, he said that he didn't feel in love and he is relieved the relationship is over and that he is done, even though it feels lonely and shitty.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, heart-wrenching, right? I mean, the worst thing to feel when you're like still madly in love with someone and they're like, I'm actually relieved that we're done. That's so hard to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah, it felt like I could not bear it. And that's why before I got the response, I already decided if he would say something like that, I would sign up for the program right the next second
Yeah.
to get through it because I didn't know how really to bear it otherwise, it felt
Yeah.
so hard.
How did you find it? Were you listening to the podcast? Did you Google it? Like what?
Yeah, actually a few years ago, I think I was um on the 5-day free training or something like that.
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, and I really liked it and I was very much into it, but I felt like I didn't necessarily need it at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I knew you from there, and I had listened to the podcast a lot as well.
Okay,
Um,
cool. That's so neat to know. I just love hearing like how people found me.
yeah,
Um, okay, so here we are. You're shattered, right? I mean, someone just told them you like they were relieved that we were no longer together. That's so hard. You sign up for the program. Tell me what were kind of some of the biggest obstacles you were about to encounter or that you were encountering at the start of your breakup journey.
yeah, I would say staying with myself through those really, really hard feelings. I was avoiding to feel my feelings. The kind of the thought of this is unbearable
Hmm.
was, I think, preventing me from being with my feelings. So I learned through, yeah, through the modules, through the coaching with you, and and I was also listening to those um, emotion emotional release sessions that helped me as well, just the meditations to stay with myself, one moment at a time. And it was very hard, but somehow I did it.
Yeah, I
Well,
remember those first couple of weeks, they were thick. And I felt like every time I felt like I got to speak to you every week, which was so fun. Like you showed up to the calls and you were really there, which I is always like really special to me because I got to be like, okay, Anna, how are you feeling today? What's coming on? What's going on? Right. And I think that you did such a beautiful job. You were so elegant in your journey through negative emotion. And I know it might not have felt like it when you were in it, but I just remember looking back and it would be like week one and week two, you were very in the thick of it. And there was a switch, and I can't remember if it was switched week three or week four, where I saw like a pretty dramatic change in your mood. Do you remember this?
yeah. And that could have been because so in week 2 or week 3, I things were really getting very hard for me, and my social anxiety was spiking. Like, it was so bad. I was starting to even be afraid in my Aikido class, in other regular circumstances like social,
Hmm.
and yeah, depression as well. So that I went to I thought, no, I need a little extra help. And I went to my doctor and I got prescribed an antidepressant, which helped me, which I was taking for really only like 1 month to 1.5 months. But going, it helped me get through that time, even just
Yeah.
thinking, okay, I have that physical support. And
Yep.
um, yeah, and I
Because
think that,
it's chemical. Yeah. I think that's beautiful. I'm so glad that you shared that. I think it's so helpful for other people to hear and know, like, it's okay if I want additional support and help. That's okay. Like, sometimes it is chemical and it is very needed. And, like, let's be accepting of all of the different tools and support that we can have and that are here in the 21st century. Absolutely. And I think one of the fun things that we got to celebrate later on down the road was you coming off of those antidepressants even within the same 3 month time frame, which is really great and awesome too. Again, not a psychologist here, not, she went to her own doctor outside of the programming to decide what was right for her. But I think just acknowledging the fact that it could be helpful for you, I think was amazing. And I'm so glad. I think the other thing that I brought up too when we were talking about it in the beginning is I'm glad that you sought support, right? Like
yeah,
that was something to applaud yourself for as well as saying, "Oh my gosh, I want additional support. I need additional support and I'm going to find it," right? And that to me is so, like that's something you get to be proud of, you get to be like, "Oh, I had my back in," you know?
yeah, and now I remember, I think that was one of the important moments because one of the um, thoughts that I would often have was, I am less than, or he is better than me, or something.
Mm.
And after questioning those thoughts through the coaching and all that, I would have an intentional thought eventually that I am the most important person in my life and I matter to me. And the medication, me seeking out help from a doctor as well, as well as the coaching and all that is really proof for that. I matter to me. I'm the most important person in my life. So yeah, it was kind of proof that that is actually the truth.
Evidence, right? Building
Evidence, yeah,
evidence. Not
literal.
only were you finding the evidence, but you're also
Yeah,
building it. Yeah. So good and
yeah,
so important. I think when you're going through the midst of heartbreak, it's really easy to fall in the trap of like, I don't matter. Like, I don't matter to the person who mattered most to me and like how difficult that can be. And it's a very like hopeless feeling. So it's really hard when you're in the thick of it. And for you to move through that and get to this place of like, I do matter and I matter to me and I am the most important person to me. How amazing. Like, just so beautiful. That like warms my heart.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
And
Go ahead.
oh, yeah, I was just gonna say throughout the program, this kind of feeling unwanted, feeling hopeless, and feeling um now yeah,
Like
feeling
inadequate.
inadequate and all that, it would come up once in a while, especially when several circumstances would like not go well.
Hmm.
And then you help me create a protocol for that. When
Yeah.
so just something that comes up sometimes in my life, feeling like that. And yeah, my protocol now is just to do something, get something nutritious inside of myself. Do some go for a walk, and also the sentences, the thoughts in my brain. Nothing has gone wrong here, and I have written it down. Now, what's
Yeah.
my protocol? That's why I haven't written down, so I remember what it
So
is.
important to write your protocol down,
Uh,
right?
yeah, here it is. It's not going to last forever.
Mm.
It's getting easier and easier. This is just temporary. And basically in those places, I just kind of wait it out. I wait for it to be done because
Mhm.
like doing a lot of thought work other than those thoughts is really, really challenging in those moments
Yeah.
because, I guess the physical baseline or, the nervous system
Yeah.
just
Yes, we're going to talk
down.
a lot about that in the comeback.
Yeah.
So you're bringing up
Yeah.
some of the things that
Okay.
because I was really
Yeah.
crafting out a lot of what is going to be shared in the comeback
Nice.
um, during your time and get over your ex. So that's kind of fun, but biology baseline, right? And so your protocol was really to get yourself to biology baseline to allow your body to regulate, your nervous system to regulate. And then once you were in that place of regulation and calm and curious state, that's where you get to do thought work. That's where you get to question your belief work and dive deeper. Otherwise, the very first step and the only step you really can take when your nervous system is dysregulated is re-regulating your nervous system. And so that's why Anna brings up like eating something nutritious, moving, going for a walk, I talk about hydrating, making sure you have good sleep, right? It is something that has to be maintained, and of course, it gets dysregulated from time to time. And like you were saying, when circumstances happen that don't go the way we had planned or wanted them to,
Mm.
um, and it's a constant practice of redirecting ourselves back to regulating our nervous system so that we then can explore the stories that dysregulated us in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So good. Okay, so feelings were a big obstacle, or we don't want to call them obstacles, right? But that was one of the biggest kind of points of being we overcame that. What else? What are some other things that were big obstacles or things that you knew you were going to need to overcome in your breakup journey?
Yeah. So my so the feeling that I was left feeling abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
That was my past breakup story that during the program I rewrote, reframed. Um, yeah, so the old story was blah, blah, blah. He didn't love me. He didn't choose me, um, and all that. And then the rewrite story um, was after after I learned some new thought patterns, which I'm going to mention in a minute. But my rewrite story was I was gifted a breakup. I was gifted a breakup. This all happened for me. And this all, I came across that, well, this happened. um, yeah, so I want to talk about that concept of I'm allowed and I don't need to, which
Yeah.
I learned in between those, the first breakup story and the final breakup story.
I love you saying this because Anna, like you're making a really good point in the fact that like when you sit down to rewrite your breakup story, it doesn't normally happen like where I sit down and I rewrite it once and it's good. Like it
Yeah.
is a journey, it's a process, and it's something where you sit down and you get aware of your current breakup story as you get coached, as you question these like core stories that are creating a lot of an undue pain or unnecessary pain, you start to just uncover other stories that already feel true. And Anna came up with like a beautiful concept that I'm so excited for her to introduce to you guys because I feel like it's going to be super beneficial when you're on your way to rewriting your breakup story or really any story that's been holding you back from your big comeback. So, yeah, tell them about the I'm allowed to concept.
Okay. So pretty much every thought I have, if I put I'm allowed first, it makes so much more sense to me. So for example, I'm allowed not to miss him. I'm allowed not to reach out to him when he is close by in my neighborhood and I really want to reach out for, but I'm allowed not to want to reach out. Um, then I also I don't need to. I put I don't need to in front of things. I don't need to feel afraid. I don't need to feel longing because all of those things, for some reason, I felt like I had to do that. And that I'm not allowed to not
Mm,
miss him. And I
yeah.
don't know exactly where that came from, maybe from childhood or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, just giving myself permission to be my own person and I'm allowed to live my own life. I'm allowed to move on, even if somebody wanted to come back later. Like I don't need to be available in case they want to come back, you know?
Mm.
Like I don't need to wait. I'm allowed to live my own life.
It's like a permission slip that you're giving yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I love how fitting it feels. I'm allowed to. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like you can apply that to all kinds of breakup scenarios, but you can also apply it to all kinds of scenarios around your bigger and better life, your comeback, right? Like, yes, we can talk about I'm allowed to not want him. I'm allowed to move on. I'm allowed to, I like to not miss him. It is kind of fascinating too, because coming from a breakup, you think like I'm required to miss him or I'm required to be sad, and not everyone is sad after a breakup. It's kind of mind blowing, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then with the comeback and your bigger and better life, like I'm allowed to want a healthy partnership. I'm allowed to go after and start creating a healthy partnership, no matter how long it's been since my breakup. I'm
Mhm.
allowed to desire the same life that I wanted with my ex, but I want to figure out how to build it like on my own, right? Um, or if you don't want the same thing you wanted with your ex, of like, you could say, I'm allowed to want something different, right? And
Mhm.
so there's just so many ways to utilize that concept. I'm obsessed. You killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that all also reminds me of your the last coaching I got from you where I think I said I don't really know what a really healthy relationship looks like, you know, I don't really know. how to want that exactly if I don't know what it really feels like. And then your coaching, I really liked your coaching, just immerse yourself in like knowing everything about what healthy relationships are, do the Pinterest board, like just immerse yourself completely into healthier relationships and people who have that. So that feels, yeah, that feels so good, just to
Yes, right. Anything that you
part of
guys
that.
want. Yeah. And so Anna was saying in her coaching, right, like that she wasn't sure what that really looked like. And so she said that I mentioned to immerse yourself. And what I mean by immersing yourself in what you want is if you want a healthy partnership and you have no idea where to even start with that because you have a long pattern of like toxic or abusive relationships. Not saying that was your situation, Anna. I'm just saying, like, for the people listening. Um, literally just start surrounding yourself with people who you believe have those. So you can start looking at it and start sampling it and start seeing what you like and what you don't like. And you can do this through, of course, the Pinterest board, but also like reading books about healthy partnerships, taking trainings and courses on healthy partnerships and relationships, even if you're not in one or like in a partnership now, right? Surrounding yourself with friends or family who you have perceivingly or you perceive have really healthy partnerships. And it doesn't mean that they're perfect. Like, of course, you might go hang out with them and you see, like, oh, I don't really like this dynamic they have, but I do like this in their dynamic, and I do like this in their dynamic. And it helps you create and craft what a healthy partnership looks like to you, not by the book, not by other people, but what does it mean to you? Because it's going to be different per person. But by immersing yourself, you get a good sampler of like what are the possibilities here. Um, yeah, I love that. And you can do that with any part of your comeback. So, like, if you're thinking about changing careers, go hang out with the people who are in your career, like, literally do a free internship or, um, start immersing yourself in YouTube videos about it. If you're wanting to you want to start making more money, even if you don't switch your career, it's like start surrounding yourself with people who make that kind of money. Start reading books about money, right? Like there's all kinds of ways that we can start creating that sampler within life. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
And
so
then
good.
just one thing I want to say, and I loved um so one unhelpful thought I had just recently was that the guys I'm attracted to are not attracted to me. So you just kind of flipped the script on that, and that was you just flipped it around, and I loved that. It was such a simple fix. To the guys I'm attracted to are actually interested in me too.
Yeah, it's so simple.
Simple, but
Sometimes it's the simple fix, right? I mean, because how did it feel? Like when I flipped it like that, how did that feel?
it felt it felt empowering
Mm.
and good. Because I honestly just think ego mind, got in there and wanted me to have a miserable life. So just skipping it is
Isn't
much
it so funny? The mind. The mind, and here's the interesting part about the mind. This is like a sidestep from what we're talking about, but it reminded me of this is the mind really, it's not necessarily about a miserable life. The mind just wants you to stay safe, seek pleasure, and avoid pain. Um, and use the less amount of energy as possible. It wants to conserve energy. And so it's going to take like the simplest routes. Um, so if you think about it, if you were driving from Oh, I honestly don't know. I'll make this more generic than I was originally planning. I was like, a road in California, and you want to go. I don't even know where to start with that. But just imagine you're on a drive somewhere, and there's two routes to get there. Like, actually, this is a great example. Where I live in Gulf Breeze, there is a drive from Pensacola Beach to Navarre Beach. And there's two ways to get there. You can take 98, which is a shit show, and it's like terrifying, and it's like a death trap. There's like so much construction. It's like there's all these businesses on both sides. I think it's like one of the most ugliest views ever. But there's a second route. But the second route does not conserve energy. It is longer, it's going to take more time. It right, but there's so much pleasure from it. There's so much pleasure from it, right? And so this route goes on from Pensacola Beach to Navarre Beach. If you go on the actual beach and there's like a road on the beach that takes you all the way there, you see the most spectacular view of these white sands and the ocean and seagrass and these cute little white birds that fly all over the place. You have to drive like 30 or 25 or 20 the whole way instead of 45 or 50. But it is like so worth it to me. And so, although sometimes my mind will be like, "Ooh, we should just take 98. We need to just take 9. We just need to get there." I have to slow down and really intentionally tell myself, like, no, what would bring me more joy is like the scenic route and going slow, not necessarily fast here. So that's really what your mind is doing. It's just trying to problem solve in the quickest way possible, right?
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, it's frustrating though. These old stories and these old chew toys that we pick up. Okay, so I love it. I really wanted to talk about three things with you, and I feel like we've checked all those things off. But is there anything else that you wanted to share about your breakup journey or any thought shifts that you might feel are like helpful for the listeners or tools or perspectives, anything?
Well, I just am thankful. I'm thankful that I'm thankful for the program, and because it really got me through the breakup when it really felt unbearable and I didn't know what to do on my own. Yeah, so just thank you so much. And
Oh, I
um,
love you, Anna, so much. I think you're just such a special soul, so magical, so unique. I think you're gorgeous. There's just so much to you that I hope that you see through my eyes.
oh, thanks so much.
Mm. Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess one other question that I have for you that I would love to get your insight on. So if you could imagine Anna 3 months ago, who's like struggling in it with her feelings, right? What would you go back and tell her? Because there's a listener listening who's in the thick of it, like you were 3 months ago. I want to know, like, what would you tell your older self, your past version of you?
Yeah. Um, well, it's going to be okay. It's okay right now. Just take one moment at a time. Don't think about like the whole day or the future at all. Just possibly don't think at all. Just get your body, do some somatic work, something to relax the nervous system um, and just trust that this is happening for you and it's going to be okay and it's going to be amazing. Yeah. It's going to be really good.
I love that. Anna, I love that. It's kind of crazy because as you're saying it, it takes me back to like when I was going through my called off engagement. I did my own program. And at the very beginning of the program, I had like this welcome video. And I remember watching it and I was like, that is not what I needed to hear in that moment. Like, I very much needed to hear, like, everything's going to be okay. Like, and it's not going to be just okay. It's going to be really okay. Like, it's going to be better than okay. So I ended up re-recording it and like the new one is in there now. But like, I love hearing that because I think when you're in the trenches of heartbreak, when you feel like you've lost everything that matters to you, you really need someone there to be like, seriously, I promise you with my whole being, everything's going to be okay and it's going to be more than okay. And I know that it doesn't feel like that. And like you said, we don't have to look through the rest of the day. We don't have to look at your future at all right now. Let's just get your body regulated. Let's get you feeling safe and seen and held and supported. And then we get to like move forward from there.
Yeah, and just knowing that you went through, several really big heartbreaks. So I really trusted you with that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that was really important to me, not to have some random coach like who's
Preaching
like,
about heartbreak
yeah,
who's never actually
no.
gone through a heartbreak.
No, so yeah, the depth of the program and of you really is um, what drew me in and what was important to me.
Thank you, Anna. That means so much to me. You're amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so glad we had you on. I know all the listeners are so grateful for all of your insights. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you want to learn how to get over your ex in 3 months or less to build a life better than the one you thought you had with your ex, I would like to personally invite you to my next group course where we take everything you've learned here on the podcast and apply it to your life. Come check it out at www.lifecoachdorothy.com.